You could always redirect money into better situations. I remember I interviewed one of the guys who the War Dogs movie was based off of.
Mm-hmm.
And you hear things, but you don't always register things. I remember I asked him, what the budget is for defense in the U.S. He said $800 billion a year. $800 billion with a B.
I thought it was 250.
It used to be that. It's been raising up over the years. Probably about 5-10 years ago it was that. Well, right. If you talk about the Pentagon alone, they spend billions.
Yeah, about $800 billion. Well, in total. Yeah.
$800 billion.
Yes, that's the budget.
That's
per year. Yeah.
Per year.
Per year. $800 billion. Yeah, that's the entire Pentagon budget. Yeah. Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah, it's massive.
$800 billion a year on weapons.
Yeah, it's about 10 times more than like the next 5 biggest countries combined. Yeah, something like that.
So,
$800 billion.
That means in 13 years, if we applied the same amount to reparations.
Wait. I'm wrong. 2025, $892.6 billion.
There you go.
Almost 900. Almost 900 billion.
Economists have concluded, on several economists that have concluded that black reparations would amount to between 13 and 17 trillion dollars.
Trillion dollars.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're spending, you just said, 1 trillion a year on defense.
Yeah.
Just give us half of that. Just throw us half of that.
500 billion?
Yeah, just throw us 500 billion per year. And we'll stretch it out to 25 years.
I mean, listen, I remember, this was when I was going viral for these comments.
Mm-hmm.
I remember at the time, this was before the pandemic, I said, I don't think that cash payments for black reparations are going to work because of the amount of money. It would probably bankrupt the country. I suggested, for example, free college education and so forth. And people got on me and was like, oh, that's not fair. What about Jewish people? Your people got reparations from Germany and so forth. And then the pandemic happened. And I saw the amount of money that the U.S. gave out. And I said, something, I was wrong. I think cash reparations.
When they needed, they got it.
The U.S. got it.
Mm-hmm.
If the U.S. wanted to pay black people back for slavery, cash is actually appropriate. So I had to apologize. I remember me and Delia Hughley talked about that on one of my shows.
And also, I've always, and I've been a member of, in fact, I helped write the reparations legislation as a student assistant to Congressman John Conyers when he drafted it. I've always, as part of the reparations movement, advocated for suing corporations that have survived, corporations that profited from slavery and have survived. And there are many who participated in the slave trade. We know that Wall Street financed much of the slave trade. So in that sense, they can pay without bankrupting their individuals.
Yeah. I mean, there's actually, let me see, there's a list of corporations like this. Hold on, I'm about to pull it up. The ones that we know about. Lehman Brothers, Aetna, JP Morgan, New York Life Insurance, and then Rothschild and Sons Bank in London, Norfolk Southern, that's the train, right? USA Today, Fleet Boston, CSX, Canadian National Railway, Brown Brothers Harriman, Brooks Brothers, Barclays, the Barclays Center over in Brooklyn.
Yeah,
just give it to black people. They could own that.
Right.
That's cool. Not to say
everybody you mentioned over the course of years, they've made tens of trillions.
Yeah. I agree, man. I agree.
So
now, do you think it'll happen in our lifetime?
Well, we didn't think we'd have a black president in our lifetime.
This is true.
So I'll never, and you don't know unless you try. And so let's keep trying and see what happens.
Yeah, and I mean, you've seen small instances of this, like certain universities and so forth. I think Harvard did something about that, and a couple other universities.
And we got local municipalities who have passed reparations ordinances that also provide assistance pursuant to that ordinance, I think there's a guaranteed income in Chicago, I believe it is, or was for a short time, $1,500 per person for a certain population as part of the reparations bill. And then you have states that can do the same, but major cities run by African-American political officials have certainly, most of them, passed ordinances supporting congressional legislation for reparations. And that's why it's so important that we participate in the system that has the resources. You know, I get it. They don't respect us. They don't want us. They don't this. They reject us. Why you trying to fight your mate way into the white man's world? Why you want to be somewhere where nobody wants? No, I don't want to do any of that. I want what's mine. Period. That's what I want. Great-great-grandmama. I want great-great-grandmama would have given me that. And y'all got it. Give me my shit. That's how I look at it. It's not about anything other than justice.
No, I agree. Like I said, I've said certain things that I had to, rewind back on. But ultimately, I'm okay with getting more information and changing my stance.
Yeah.
That's okay. We're all wrong at certain times.
I've done so.
Yeah, we all have opinions, and you get more information, and I think you're better off absorbing the new information as opposed to just being stubborn and saying, well, I said it before, so I just got to stand on that, and so forth.
The case for reparations is not exclusively centered on the harms of slavery. 3 phases of atrocities that are relevant to making the case for reparations for Black American descendants of U.S. slavery. First phase is slavery itself, that led to many, many decades of white supremacy in the United States, decades of white supremacy that continue to the present moment. The second phase of atrocities is associated with nearly 100 years of legal segregation in the United States, accompanied by a wave upon wave of massacres, white massacres that took place north and south. And then the third phase that's relevant to our conversation is the period in the aftermath of the passage of the civil rights legislation of the 1960s, mass incarceration, the persistent police execution of unarmed Blacks, discrimination that takes place in credit, housing, and employment markets, the enormous racial wealth differential in the United States.
Reparations should be strictly for foundational Black Americans, descended of freedmen. See, it's reparations for slavery. It's not reparations for racism, because a lot of people want to come on and get like, hey, I'm Black. I dealt with racism.
Selectively Black people.
Right. They're Black when it's convenient.
Yeah.
We can't let everybody say I'm Black and I should get reparations, because some of you voluntarily came over. This is our homeland. We've been here. We've been here from the beginning, and we were mistreated on our own homeland, and we have to get compensated. If we let other melanated people say, well, I'm Black and I'm an immigrant and I should get reparations too, that opens the door for Hispanics. They can say, well, I was mistreated too. Asians can say, I was mistreated too. I need to get in on that. So that's going to open the door to a lot of bad things to happen, just like affirmative action. Affirmative action was supposed to be for Black people. Then we let them slip in one word and messed it all up. Minority. Nobody was using minority in the 1960s until 65. They slipped that word in, and everybody and their mama ran in the minority door and got affirmative action. And we're the last ones to get it. We didn't get nothing. White women started being minorities then.
What are your thoughts about reparations for Black people specifically, and like Black Americans specifically? What is your
very much against?
Very much against. Can I ask why?
Well, first and foremost, I don't believe that we should ever pay monetary damages to people where nothing bad happened to them, just because they are related to a group of people where something bad happened to them.
Okay, so
because it separates the idea. Let me just finish, and then I'll throw it back to you.
Absolutely.
Our justice system, when properly understood, is about individuals receiving justice, not tribes or groups receiving justice.
Also, I want to state that just because I am a Black man, I do not speak for all Black people. So I'm just
I like this guy. You should give it up for him.
Just want to state that for the record. I'm speaking for myself. So, all right. So definitely hear you on that. And even for me, when it comes to reparations, for me personally, I don't believe that it should be a check. I think that reparations can look like many different things, whether it's like investment in institutions, more like, better schools, hospitals, all that kind of stuff. So my question to you is like, so since you are against reparations, would you say that we should be would you be for outlawing inherited wealth? Does that make sense?
I feel like sometimes people should pay because, like,
who should pay?
White people.
Why is that, do you think?
This is why I say, because Native Americans, African slaves, and Hispanic people built this country, and white people got the credit for it.
Do we support that idea or no?
Hell no.
No?
Nah.
Like, what would we be paying them for? Like, hey, sorry? Like, that's what they're getting?
I guess so, yeah.
That sounds dumb. Wouldn't you think that's a little dumb?
I mean, I'm for it because it's free money, but for one, I'm for it, and two, I feel like everybody should, actually get out here and get a job and not just get money just handed to them.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Furaha. If you are coming across my channel for the first time, if you have never been here before, if you have never encountered any of my videos any other time, thank you so much for choosing to be here today, for watching the video, and especially watching the video to this point. I really appreciate that. I appreciate your time, and thank you so much. I hope to see you some more. Please consider subscribing to this channel if this is the kind of content that you love. Now, for returning subscribers, guys that have been with me since I began this channel, people that have been here for months, weeks, days, thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate you for the support, the massive support that you always give me, and I don't take it for granted. So please feel appreciated, and I hope that you're enjoying the video this far. Now, on today's video, we're talking about something that we have discussed before, and we might not have discussed it to like the required lengths, or maybe not found an a working solution to it yet, but we have continuously talked about the issues of reparations. Now, you as a white person, you as a black person, I know you have your different ideas, your different thoughts about the issue of black people, black Americans being given their reparations. Now, there are many people, and especially white people, that usually have a feeling that they don't see it worth reparations being given to black Americans, because they feel like the people that actually suffered during slavery and all those things, and the disadvantaging and all that, it is not the people that are currently the black Americans that we know. That generation is long gone, which I beg to agree with. It's true that they are not the ones, but you also need to understand that these people have endured the suffering of their ancestors. Could be indirectly, but I like to think of it as very direct, because assuming your ancestors were given the opportunities, they were given the they were given the right environment for them to succeed in life, then very likely, more often than not, you will find that generations that come after that are going to be better, because you have a head start. You are given a head start, yeah? And that is exactly what is happening with most white people. They were given a head start by the people that came before them. Now, why black Americans that are currently in America right now deserve reparations is because of that. The disadvantaging of their forefathers has disadvantaged them, even in this world where it looks like everything is okay, where it looks like they have been given the same opportunities, they have been given all the support that they need. But you should just know that by their forefathers being disadvantaged somehow, it has affected them, and it keeps affecting them even now, with a lot more things that we are not going to discuss on this video. Now, for you to understand that, for you to be open-minded enough to get that, you have to stop all the biases, you have to stop the jealousy, you have to stop feeling as if you're doing these people a favor, yeah? Now, there are people that actually feel, and sometimes even black people, that feel like, we don't exactly deserve reparations, because America is changed now and things have changed, and we have been given the environment that can allow us to grow, that can allow us to become better. Now, that is also true, but for the same reason that I have explained, you have already been disadvantaged. So even if you achieve as much as becoming a billionaire right now, just know that if your forefathers were not disadvantaged, very likely you would have more. Yeah, that is the point. Now, I know you people have thoughts, you have what you think about this. This is just my own standing. I have not gotten to a point where I feel like they don't deserve the reparations. I feel like they do. And I usually have problems once in a while with people that I really respect. And when they say black people don't deserve the reparations, I usually feel like it's betrayal in some sort. For instance, we have talked about Jane Elliot and her stand on that, and she has said it sometime that she feels that black Americans don't deserve reparations. Let me not say don't deserve, but she explained it in such a manner to show that she doesn't find it needful that they be given the reparations. And that was upsetting to very many black people, and they started talking, about feeling like these people that are white, that usually fight for them, that usually look as if they are on the side of black people, sometimes they do things and it makes them feel like they really are just doing it for the money, for the fame, and for the publicity of it. Yeah, because when it now comes to real issues, when black people are concerned about reparations and how they're going to get it, and the procedure and all that, they're silent about it. And sometimes they're even talking about it and they're on the side of don't give them reparations because there's no strategy to do it. How are you going to know how much to give to who, and how do you know the families that were disadvantaged? How do you separate them from the ones that were not? There's a lot of that going on, and they give that excuse a lot, that they don't know how they're going to subdivide and do all that sharing and giving. But in the real sense, if you're just observing keenly, you notice that it's really not the issue. The issue is they don't want to give it. They don't want to give the reparations to black people because sometimes they feel like black people don't deserve it. Sometimes they feel like black people will they will outshine white people if they are given that. Sometimes they feel like black people, they will become too proud, they will be advantaged, stuff like that. So it's usually a lot of biases that are working behind closed doors, and that is really why the issue of reparations looks as though it's not something that will be solved anytime soon. Looks like something that we will keep talking about and talk about, but it will never really amount to any solution and satisfy everyone, because people have different thoughts, different ideas every other time. Everyone thinks differently. And yeah, I don't know what you people think about that. Let me know in the comment section what you think. Leave a comment, like this video, share it to friends, family, loved ones, people that are like-minded, people that would love to have these kind of conversations, would like to have this kind of debates. Interact in the comment section, say what you think. And I keep telling you guys, on this channel, on this platform, you feel comfortable to say whatever it is that you want to say, as long as you keep it respectful. It's okay, you can say it as it is, exactly how you feel about this. We do not have a problem with you if you agree to what we're saying, or if you disagree to what we're saying. It's still okay. You have that freedom, you have that right. You can leave the comment and people will interact with that. They will share their different opinions, ideas, and in the long run we will all have said what we want to say. If you have something you can learn from the other person, you will do that. If the other people can learn something from you, the better. Yeah, and that's how we keep growing and become different every day. Now guys, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I don't know where you're watching me from, so I hope that you're keeping safe from wherever you're watching me from. I hope that you're having a fantastic day and that everything is running just fine for you. I am fine, I'm okay, and I really appreciate time, and I appreciate that I have had this day to do this with you guys. I hope that you have enjoyed the video, learned a few things here and there. I will see you in my next video, guys. Remember to be kinder to yourself today. Bye for now.